Hi, everybody. Welcome to SA Soccer Mag. I'm Kevin Fergus, the Money Man, and I've got DJ with me. How you doing, bud?
Good, thanks, and you?
We're trying to make sense of the first couple games in the Soccer Club World Cup. FIFA's big splash into this. There's a lot of unknowns.
Teams and variables.
Especially with the signing window open and the transfers. I believe Man City have signed 100 million worth of the stuff. So my question there is who's playing, who's not playing. You've just had the Nations Cup just finishing on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
So you got guys playing in that, and are they coming over? I mean, I don't know. Sounds like a bit of a bun fight. So you have Al Ahly Cairo versus Inter Miami CF, betting 3.3, 2.04 plus minus, depending on which website you're on. Do you see any value in that?
I think I just put it on Inter Miami. You know, double your money. Messi, Magic, Suarez. They got some good players there. But again, it's tough to really judge because you don't know what quality. It's tough to judge. You know, African Egyptian league quality to MLS quality. You don't know what the matchup's going to be.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to go for the players I know more, which is Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a miss. In fact, I'm going to give the whole weekend a miss just to try and see who's brought who and who's coming. And what the game, I think you can't even get odds on this site against Bayern Munich versus Auckland. Auckland are 181 to 1 to win the game. You know, that tells you all you need to know about Auckland.
I saw an article, I can't remember if it was satire or not, but it was like Auckland semi-professional players have quit their jobs to go and pursue the Club World Cup.
Why not?
Yeah.
But it just shows that how does a team like Auckland get into this thing? Come on. Anyway, it is what it is. Bayern Munich should beat them by at least 3 goals. I think 4-0. Then you have a solid game between Paris Saint-Germain and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. Champions League level game sprinkled in amongst the rest.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Paris Saint-Germain at 1.88?
I like that. I think that there isn't much reason to doubt them at this point. I think they've shown this year that they are a high-quality team. They are probably the best team in the world. And Atletico, I see, the way they'll approach this. They want the money. But they just don't have as much punching power as PSG.
No.
And I think PSG want to really target this competition. So if PSG win this game, realistically, they've already qualified for the round of 16. I think if you look at the rest of their group, I think they will have some fatigue from the Nations League. I think pretty much in the final, they had 6 or 7 players start in the final on Sunday.
Yeah.
But their squad is so strong. I think this will be a great game to watch.
Should be.
I don't know if it'll be massive, like lots of... I think that it's also difficult because this will show whether it's going to be a pre-season friendly with low intensity, no one really cares, or people have come to play. I will favor PSG though. I think on Betway it's 1.92. I think you can't really go wrong with that.
No, it's not a bad bet. I like PSG actually. And then you have Palmeiras Sporting versus FC Porto, and that is they're tossing the coin on this.
So maybe go for a draw.
And I think that's in Los Angeles, that game. May even be in Los Angeles. I don't know what's happening with the riots in Los Angeles. Like you said, maybe they'll quell for 90 minutes just to watch the soccer. But
I think Porto realistically should. I think my method is going to be, when in doubt, just back the European sides, because the Portuguese league, without disrespecting Palmeiras, is probably stronger. So just back Porto 2.6.
Well, it's not bad either.
Yeah.
But like I said, I won't touch any of this until next week.
Yeah.
Then you have Botafogo RJ. Don't know what's the RJ stand for? Something Spanish.
No idea.
Against Seattle Sounders. And Botafogo are favored by 1.88. Chelsea versus Los Angeles, 1.36.
Yeah, I don't think you can back LAFC in that one. You have to go Chelsea.
You would have to go Chelsea, wouldn't you? Yeah, but I mean, 1.36 doesn't exactly pay the bills. So I am going to be an incredibly watchful participant in this weekend's. This starts on Sunday at 2 a.m. If you fancy it. I'm not sure.
I think I might just wait for the 6 p.m. game.
Yeah, I might not be up watching Al Ahly Cairo versus Inter Miami CF, but you never know. Things have kept me up on the weekends before. And then you got Bayern at 6 and Paris at 9. Like I said, so you've got Chelsea. Then Sunday you've got Boca versus Benfica, Flamengo versus Esperance de Tunis, Fluminense RJ versus Borussia Dortmund, and then you get into Man City versus Wydad AC Casablanca. Well, yeah, some interesting. I think you have to take a wait and see. You've got to see how the referees are refereeing, see if there's lots of cards, see if these guys come with an attacking intent. I mean, they should be.
Yeah. I think it's a tough one because a lot of these lower ranked teams, the advantage I think for the South American teams is less travel. You know, they'll be used to the conditions more. They probably had a bit more of a break.
Yeah.
So they might come out guns blazing, or they could come out conservative and say, we'll take a 0-0 in the group stage, bank that $1 million. Just get to the next round.
Not if you're Bayern Munich. You're banking the...
No, exactly. So it's going to be a tough one because I think tired legs going against a team that's fresher, that hasn't had to travel as much for 90 minutes sitting back, might be quite a few draws. So we'll see. I'm not sure what exactly is going to happen intensity-wise.
Yeah, wouldn't matter what team Bayern puts out, though, does it?
Not really.
Fresh legs, young guys. You're not going to use their old deck. Yeah. Wouldn't start. I don't know if we're going to see Harry Kane playing in that game. So really, folks, if you want to make some money on these games, what I would do is have a wait and see attitude for the first round. You know, you really I know you want to have a little bet. You want to press that button, but just wait and see. Just watch and have a look. See how the referees are doing. See if the attacking intent is there. Then you can forget a game like Bayern Munich versus Auckland City, and see the South Americans might surprise us.
I agree. And then, do you want to chat about Sundowns?
Sure. Let's chat about Sundowns.
So I just think for this game, Ulsan, they 2.47, Sundowns 2.95.
Ulsan Hyundai FC. Are they from Korea?
Yeah. And then 3.34 draw. Something about that draw looks quite good. I don't know. I think, again, it's difficult to judge because the quality of football, we haven't seen enough. We don't know if it translates.
Do you see high-scoring games in any of these things, or do you see low-scoring games, you know?
I don't know. Honestly.
Yeah?
I don't know half of these teams. I've never seen more than half of these teams play. So,
no one has.
Yeah, so that's why it's difficult to say. You know, they could be champions of Tunisia or, you know, champions of, I don't know, Korea. But I don't know how good they are, and it's difficult to judge.
And you don't know who's playing against them. So it really is a tough tournament. That's why I think you look like a team. We took 5-1 on Paris Saint-Germain before the 4 balls kicked. That's not a bad bet. They're the best in Europe. 5-0 they beat Inter. This is the toughest game they've got. And they'll get through to the next round. I have no doubt about that.
If they don't, it's a serious catastrophe. It just means that the other teams around the world are better than the European teams.
Hey, look, that's why I guess this is why they're playing this tournament. You know, it's Real Madrid 1.24 against Al Hilal.
I guess that's Saudi Arabia's best team, so it'll be interesting to see how their big guns.
Yeah,
you know, they've got some good players there.
Yeah, so
we'll see.
So what we're saying to you folks is quite simple. Take the 5-1 on offer PSG to win the tournament, and take the 1.88 on offer for them to beat Atletico Madrid in a close game. And we'll update you more as the tournament proceeds. Thanks, Jug.
Thanks, Gav.